Spice is everywhere to find on Arrakis, or that's at least what they are saying in the books and the movies. When you are playing Dune Awakening, you realize very quickly that's not the case. Spice is quite rare. Welcome to the poor man's guide of Dune Awakening. So, to make this very clear from the get go, this guide is aimed at people who are mostly playing for themselves or in relatively small groups, like I do. And getting the right amount of spice is complicated because finding the spice reservoirs is rare. And even then, the amount of stuff you are getting out of it is not really great. So let's cover all the options you have to get the spice flow. And then, of course, we will also talk a little bit about how to utilize the spice melange in some of the items and things you can craft. So let's get right going. The first thing you want to do is you might think, oh, I will go to the deep desert. This is where I heard the most spices to be found. I would advise against that because a lot of people have the same idea, and the deep desert is really overrun. And I'm not even talking about the PvP areas, which are basically now owned by the big guilds, and you were getting shut down if you were going in there. I'm talking about the PvE areas, of course, and they are just overfarmed. So many people trying the same thing, and it's not a great place. So I do recommend to stay in the Hagen Basin, and what I would recommend to go is to the No Man's Land, aka Seoul, and look for spice reservoirs right there, because a lot of people tend to ignore it. They see the explosion even there and they go, oh, it's too far away. Oh, it's where radioactive areas are. Nah, I don't want to go there. And the two reasons for that is that they would have to take their radiation suit with them if you plan to go there. Don't forget to take that with you. But if you were seeing some spies in the radiation zone and you don't have your suit with you, just go for it. Nothing bad can really happen. You have still quite a bit of time to actually farm the spice. Keep in mind that you should prepare enough time to actually get out of the zone. But even if you die in the radiation zone, nothing bad happens as long as you are linked to your vehicle, aka your ornithopter. You can just spawn there immediately and nothing really happened. Of course, it is a bad moment to let that happen when a worm is charging at you and then the radiation kills you, because then the chance is pretty high that your chopper and your body is gone. So you don't want to have that to happen. So keep an eye out for that. But truth to be told, farming in the radiation zone is not really a big deal, and you should always do it when you can. And a lot of people are ignoring it, and this is where I normally find my 2 or 3 spice areas I can just farm without any problems. The next thing you want to look out for are ships. Yes, ships. You know, the things which are crashing down from the sky with a huge explosion, and most people don't care because they don't really need the resources out of it anymore. Keep in mind that most of those ships are actually coming with spice in it. Now, to make this also very clear, this is not the same amount of spice you can find on the ground. We are talking about typically 200 to 260 spice, give or take, of course. But it is still 2 spice melange you're basically getting out of those, at least, right? And this is the poor man's guide for spice and not the rich man's guide. So you take every scrap you can find. So take that with you. And when you have enough spice, you will go back to your base after some time, and then you will throw it into your spice refinery and make some spice melange out of it. I mean, you already know that. Now, the next big question is, should you get the medium-sized spice refinery? Well, the answer to that is really, do you have the resources? If so, that's good for you, because, man, especially the amount of titanium you need for it is kind of crazy, but I would say it is worth it because it reduces the amount of spice you need to create one spice melange by 25%. So instead of 100 spice, you only need 75. And if you also have the buff active from the Landsrat, you can get another 25% off. So that would mean you would only need 50% of the spice you usually need to create one spice melange, which is of course very helpful. But the biggest problem is really getting the titanium going. The one thing you definitely want is the medium-sized alchemy station. It's not alchemy station, I always say it wrong, but you know what I mean, the chemical station. I always say alchemy station. No, the chemical station, you definitely need that for stravidium, right? That's the only way how you can get the stravidium or refined, so you definitely want that. But the next big question is, what do you do with all the other stations? The advanced weapon station, the advanced survivor station, and so on and so forth. What should you get first? The answer is everything. No, Mo, I don't have the resources for that. I cannot get everything. No, you can. Well, more or less. Not everything at the same time, but you can get everything when you need it. That's exactly what I'm doing, right? I have my advanced survivor station here, and every time I don't need that, I remove it from the base and then build the other thing, because right now at least you are getting 100% of your resources back every time, no matter how often you have used the station, how long the station has been standing around, you will always get 100% back. And so that means when you don't need the advanced survival station, you can just switch it up to whatever you need right now. And this is how you can reduce quite a lot of the resources you need. And I will be honest, even if I would have the resources for all of the stations, I would probably not do it, because I can just switch around. And for somebody who is not producing stuff in bulk, like some of the big guilds do, yeah, I don't need everything up and running the whole time. Also, think about the energy cost, it's insane. So do that. Remove the things you don't need and then build the other one you need right now. And the one thing I have learned is that armor is relatively easy to get in comparison to some other stuff, but it really comes down to how much titanium you have. Because interestingly enough, at some point, spice melange is not necessarily a problem anymore. It's titanium which is becoming more and more a problem, because that's only available in the deep desert. And one of my videos at some point will definitely be about how to get titanium. Right now, I wait for changes, because look, Funcom apparently doesn't know themselves how much titanium they want to give you, and it changes basically every week, so I have to wait a little bit longer till I can make a video about that, but it's definitely on the list. But I hope this was helpful. If you still have some questions, let me know down below in the comments, or if you have your own ideas for some good farming places, which are not some bugs or glitches or something, because Funcom is hunting down those people who are using those, so be careful. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Dune Awakening, other survival games, and RP games, you came to the right place, and you want to subscribe here. With that said, thank you so much for watching, stay safe,